And we are back to the channel where we talk about everything US markets, US headlines, and then we break down the companies in those headlines on TradingView, and we go through some of the earnings, we go through some of the revenues, we go through some of the chart patterns, and all that and in between. Okay? Yeah. So here we go. welcome. Again, if you're just tuning in, this is everything US markets, US headlines, and we're going to break it all down. So some of the things that we're going to be talking about, well, we have Meta. Well, Meta's in the news because they're also, they just announced a 3%, their stock just rose 3% because they're going to be laying off 20% of their workforce. That's one of them. Also, if you're curious about how some of the data centers are going to be providing all these jobs, that's another one that's in the headlines. For example, how the red hot AI data center boom is igniting demand for new lucrative career path, okay, with trade workers. We'll be talking about that. For example, there's a lot of pushback with data centers. Well, but according to this article, there's going to be some Amazon said last month it's committing $12 billion to build a new AI data center in Louisiana, which will create 540 full-time jobs on site, as well as 1,700 other roles for electricians, technicians, and security specialists. Okay, so that's one of the ways that data centers can be beneficial. Meta also invested $27 billion last year in a joint venture with Blue Owl Capital, and they're talking about, for example, robotic technicians increased by 107%, according to a global analysis of 50 million job postings. For cooling, we got HVAC systems, the growth rate. Lucas, hello. The growth rate was 67%, and vacancies for industrial automation technicians grew by 51%. Hello. JRD, welcome. Everything US markets and headlines. If you have a question about a company or a ticker, just drop it in the comments. And then also, workers and electricians increased by 27%. Again, so these data centers need educated engineers and educated electricians and technicians. I've seen a 25 to 30% pay increase for the data center roles. Okay, now that's that. Another one that we will talk about is Rivian. Why Rivian? Well, because Rivian is going to supply Uber with 50,000 robo-taxis coming up in 2028. There's that. Also, we're going to talk a little bit about gold and silver because gold and silver are not doing so well right now. They're getting hammered, actually, and that's partly because of the war in the Middle East. And as oil prices go higher, the dollar gets stronger. That's part of it. We'll talk about that more coming up. Also, we're going to brief on Tesla. But where's my Tesla here? There's Amazon. Where's Tesla? Where's my Tesla? Oh yeah, for example, right here. Tesla's going to buy 4.3 billion of LG Energy battery cells from disbanded GM plant. Also, another reason why we're going to talk about them is because they have a $2.9 billion worth of solar equipment they're going to buy from Chinese sources. Now, why is that? Because they're going to get these panels and cells from the Chinese, and Musk aims to add 100 gigawatts of solar coming up before 2028. Now that is a very strong thing, but yeah, that's all coming up. Also, we have Amazon. Now, Amazon acquires startup River to test robots doorstep delivery. If you want a doorstep delivery, let me know, because this is what Amazon's planning on doing. So Amazon has acquired the startup River. It's a Swiss robotics company for doorstep delivery. Amazon Robotics Unit was formed after it acquired Kiva Systems, which is the one that puts the robots in the manufacturing warehouses, for $775 million in 2012, and is already using 1 million robots. Yeah, that's Amazon. Also, we'll talk about Supermicro. Why Supermicro? Because where is it? Right here. The U.S. prosecutors charged Supermicro Computers employees with smuggling NVDA chips to China. That's another one. Also, what about Unilever and McCormick? Well, Unilever is confirming talks on McCormick offer for the food business. They're going to have is to sell its food business to McCormick, yes. And also we've got Apollo. Apollo talks about how the software's troubles will persist, noting very large unknowns. Like a lot of the software companies right now are going through turbulent times, including some of those like Intuit, HubSpot, and Salesforce. It's why software companies have taken a conservative stance when detailing their outlook for the year. Also, another one we will follow up with is oil. Again, we cannot get through the stream without talking about oil. Oil possibly at $166 a barrel. If it drags on, possibly. We'll talk about all that up coming in the live stream. Again, if you're just joining in, welcome, welcome. I have an engineering background, and I took that into the financial sector. And you're going to get out of this. What are you going to get out of this? You're going to learn about not only the chart patterns, but the headlines. We're going to talk about some of the indicators. For example, if you have questions about indicators, how to use them, price chart patterns, we will also, for example, get into here, the earnings, okay? We'll talk about the earnings, we'll talk about the quarterly, the annually, and how they correlate with, for example, the profits, the revenues, and the income, okay? All that's coming up. I'm from the US, I grew up in the Midwest, and there wasn't a whole lot going on in the Midwest, except for, there was farming and there was sports, and I wasn't a very good farmer. Some might say I wasn't good at sports either, but I had a love for numbers, and I took that love for numbers into engineering. And as I went through engineering, I had a curiosity about the markets, and I just started learning and growing with that. Now, having said that, it's much easier nowadays to get more information about the markets. It's all at your fingertips, but back then it was not. So welcome, where we have a channel where we make it simple, we make it fun, and we grow the community like that. So, for example, let's take a look here at, let's see, right here, at Meta. Another one that Meta is doing is they're going to pay Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube creators with big followings to post on Facebook. Let's talk about that a little bit. Okay, so right here it's talking about how it pays $1,000 a month to creators with at least 100,000 followers on Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube, and $3,000 a month to those with over 1 million followers on any of those platforms. Yeah, and the company said it paid nearly $3 billion to creators in 2025. That was up from 35% from the previous year. About 60% of that went to Reels content, with the rest split over formats. Yeah. Now, what's more interesting, let's take a look at how, again, Meta is also the company whose stock just jumped up 3% on the plan to lay off 20% of its employees. Let me make sure I get that number right. Where is it? Right here. Meta is on Wednesday, I believe. Hold on one second. I have that right here in my notes, just to make sure I give you the right number. Where the heck is Meta? Yeah, so Meta stock climb is 3% on the report of planned layoffs to offset AI spending. They're going to lay off 20% of its 79,000 employees. Yeah, so just bear that in mind. Okay. Now, also, let's go ahead and get into Meta then. We're coming up in the stream as you're watching. For example, you're going to have, what we're going to be talking about Meta. We'll also be talking about Rivian, Gold and Silver, Tesla, Amazon, Supermicro, Apollo, all coming up, okay? So let's go to it right here. Let's go right here to Meta. Meta. Let me refresh this. Okay. Now let me adjust some of the settings here. If you're watching from home and you're curious about the software I'm using, this is Trading View. Let me put yeah. This is Trading View, and I'm looking at the 1 day chart. The 1 day time for for Meta. Okay, so here we go. Yeah, one of the things to take a look at first is the RSI, the relative strength index, right there. So for example here, the RSI, relative strength index, here, this is what they call the 70 line, that's the overbought line, and this down here is the oversold line. Now what does that really mean? Well, it just means getting into this area. Do you have any questions? Feel free. Yes. Lucas, yes, hello. Yeah, if you have any questions or want me to analyze a ticker, just put it below there in the comments. And Eric, hello Eric, welcome. Eric TI22, welcome to the show. We're talking everything US markets, US headlines, and I'm here to break it down for you, okay? We're looking at TradingView right now with Meta. And again, here's your RSI. Again, these things can go way overbought or way oversold before they ever market correct, so keep that in mind. Also, right here, Meta is sitting here with the RSI of about 33, 32, and that tells you that the price chart is going down, and it is right there. Yes. So if you look right here with the price chart going down like that, you'll also see less trade volume, and you can see right there, there's less trade volume right there. Yes. And then right here, just a brief touch on the MACD. The MACD is the moving average convergence divergence, okay? Now, for example, just to put it basically, when the MACD goes down on the signal line, you're gonna have a downward chart appear. Now, for example, here when it goes up on the signal line, you're gonna have a blue your MACD is gonna, when it crosses the signal line going up, you're gonna have an upward chart pattern up there, okay? So there's that. Scott, hey Scott, I'm rappers Yeats' little cousin. Check out Yeats' new album to drop out. Okay, Scott, thanks for the message. Dun, dun, dun. Welcome. And okay, so here we go. So you see, again, briefly, that's the MACD. If you have more questions about that, just let me know, but I can get into more detail on that if you want. Also, right here, let's get some chart patterns going on. You see right here, I'll circle this for you. This is the double bottom. The double bottom goes up. You can see that happening. Also, right here, for example, here's the head, and here's the left shoulder, here's the right shoulder, and then there's the neckline. Bang. Yes. And with that, you can see right here, it goes down right there. So that the head and shoulders is the chart where it goes down. There's also a reverse head and shoulders where it goes up. I'll show you that in just a moment. Right here. Yeah, here's a good example of a reverse head and shoulders. Right here. You see, here's the reverse head. Here's the left shoulder. Here's the right shoulder. And then here's the neckline. Right there, reverse head, left shoulder, right shoulder, and then there's the neckline going up right here. Bang. Okay, so there it goes up right there, jumps out, and there's a couple chart patterns for you. And also, let me see if I can give you one more for you. Let's see. Sometimes the head and shoulders are very difficult to spot, but yeah, they come in all different shapes and sizes. For example, here is one. If you zoom it out, you'll see it. They don't always break out and go down. For example, here's the head, here's the left shoulder, right shoulder, and there's the neckline right there, head, shoulder, neckline. Okay. So again, if you have more questions about the chart patterns, let me know. Okay, you can always contact me and ask me more questions like that. Now let's go on to some of the earnings. Okay. Again, some of the reasons why you want to watch this. You'll learn about how to look at earnings. You look about how to look at the chart patterns. You learn about some of the indicators as we just discussed. You also learn about profits, revenues, and incomes. And then, for example, we might even get into some of the forecasts and some of the Yeah, but you also get an update on all the headlines and stuff. We're going to go over oil and gold as well, but we do it fun and we make it not boring. So hopefully you'll like it at the same time. Welcome, welcome, Tina Wilson. M, hello, how are you? If you have a question or comment, just drop it there and let's go on here. So for example, right now we've got let's see, volume is at 3.4 million. Market cap is at 1.5 trillion. Earnings right now is sitting here at earnings is sitting at right here. We have the quarterly, we have the annual earnings right there. Quarterly, Q4 right there. What you want to pay attention to here, for example, the blue bars, that's what's recorded. That's the recorded earnings. The gray bars, that's what the Wall Street was predicting. Now, when the blue bars beats the Wall Street expectations, that can actually make the company look stronger. Also, the opposite is true. It can also make it look weaker if it doesn't meet it. Q3 right here, obviously did not meet the expectations, but Q2 and Q4 blew by it. Now, more importantly, if you look at the annual side, annually, 2025, 2024, and 2023, all years beat the earnings expectations, as you can see right there. Yeah, and what that tells you is that when it beats what the forecast of Wall Street's forecast, that it's a showing that the company has vitality, it has life, it has strength. It's one of the key pieces of information to look at. But again, just because the earnings are good does not mean the profit or the revenue is good. So you want to look at all of it, okay? This is just one piece of the puzzle. So having said that, let's go here to Meta, okay? Right here, looking at Meta, click the annual button, and right here, for example, in this case, all 3 years, it's nothing but green grass right there. 2023, 2024, and 2025, green grass, everything's in the profit, revenue, income, except for the only thing that wasn't good was 2025's net income. That was negative. JC, welcome. Scientist, I love the name, welcome. This is the channel where we're talking about everything U.S. markets and U.S. headlines, and we break it all down on TradingView and we make it fun. So it's an educational channel, so hopefully you'll learn something and enjoy it at the same time. And here you are, that's Meta. All right, having said that, let's move on to where we got next. There was Meta. We also talked about some of the good things about data centers and the jobs that they're creating. Let's go here to Rivian. Yes, so here's another hot topic. Rivian is going to supply, right here, Rivian is going to supply Uber with 50,000 robo-taxis in exchange for 1.25 billion in funding starting in 2028. There's already 25 cities by 2031 that Rivian has. They will be in 25 cities by 2031, and Rivian's stock has already surged 10% on this trade. And again, this is my daily notes. This is not a script. I spend copious amounts of time working on this, so hopefully you will enjoy it. There you go. So 50,000 robo-taxis. Let's take a look at Rivian, okay? Again, let's go to TradingView. Right here, Rivian, okay, Rivian Automotive. Now, what can we learn from this? Well, let's adjust the timing a little bit right here. And then right about here, for example, I want you to pay attention to this too. Harry, hello, and welcome. Right now we're breaking down Rivian on TradingView. And if you have a ticker, just drop it in the comments and let me know. Right here, here's your relative strength index. And this, you can see how it correlates with the chart pattern up here. The relative strength index is very neutral right there. And then right here, bang. Here's your, for example, you'll see right here, you'll see you have the invisible resistance, you have the support, just like what you have down here. This is called consolidation, continuation. And then also you see that here in the MACD. You see how the MACD just runs kind of parallel to the signal line there? Yeah. And right here, for example, you have your head. Let me show you this. If you're looking for some chart patterns right here, you have your head, left shoulder, right shoulder here. Here's your neckline, and then you can see the head and shoulders is supposed to break out and go down, and here it does. Actually, it breaks out right here, and it goes down right there. It breaks out and goes down. And for example, right, let's see, let me get you some more. Again, this is Rivian, and they're going to be supplying Uber with 50,000 robo taxis. So we're breaking them down. Here's another. Here's your head right here. Head, left shoulder, right shoulder. Here's your neckline. Okay. And yeah, let me give you a couple other ones real quick before I go to the earnings. And let's see. Oh, here's a good one that jumps out at me right here. For example, here is your here's your head, and then left side, right side. This is your neckline, head and shoulders right there. Okay, and right here. Yeah, so that's a couple chart patterns. Let's keep going with the headlines. That's Rivian. I also want you to be mindful that right here, you see the trade volume. Greetings. Well, hello and welcome to the channel. We're breaking down Rivian right now because they're going to be supplying Uber with robo-taxis coming up. And if you have a ticker that you want, Gerald, if you have a ticker you want, let me know. Just drop it in the comments. If you have a company or a ticker that you want me to analyze, that's what it's here for. Notice right here, for example, you have trade volume spiking going up. There's the trade volume. When the trade volume goes up, there's usually more price action here in the price charts. Right now, the volume right here is at 8.8 million. Market cap is at 18.2 billion. Earnings right now is at, there's quarterly and there's a yearly. Usually you want to look at annually, but let's take a look at both of them. Kevier, hello, welcome. Right here at quarterly, you can see that it was in the negative, right? But the thing is, the reported earnings is right here in the blue, and it was less negative than it was expected. So that's actually a positive earnings report. Same thing with Q3. It was less negative than expected. And right here, Q2 is more negative than it was expected. So that's a bad earnings report. But annually, let's see how they fared. 2025, you can see again, the blue part, which is what they actually recorded. The recorded earnings were less negative than the expected, so that looks strong. Jane, hello, welcome to the stream. If there's a question about a company or a ticker, just put it in the comments, say hello. 2024, also again, it was less negative than expected. And 2023, again, also less negative than expected right there. Good. So even though it was negative, it was less negative than expected. So it's positive earnings review. Let's look at how it compares with the revenue, profit, and income right here. Okay, so right here we're looking at 2023, 2024, and 2025. And actually, that's why I say you need to look at everything, because even though the earnings were in the negative, it was a positive earnings report. And here, just because like you have 2023's revenue, profit, income, pre-tax income, net income, it's all green grass, and it's good. Same thing with 2024 and 2025, all green, all looking good. Sometimes people do look at the forecast. I don't much, but if you do, here it is. I really don't put too much stock into this, but it can be helpful. It can be beneficial. Also, now, one topic I want to talk about is gold and silver. This is an interesting one, especially because right now what's going on, gold and silver plunge as the Iran war damps. Okay, so for example, gold sank for the 7th session as the war in the Middle East drove oil prices higher. Silver slumped 13%, also 3 weeks into the war. And the soaring crude and gas raised inflationary risks, so the global stocks and bonds also sold off amid the war and surging energy prices. Now, that also forced some of the investors to sell their positions in precious metals to raise cash, and bullion is still up more than 6% this year. So although the upward momentum has already stalled, the bullion is still up right now. So again, if you have questions or comments about gold or silver, it's something I'm really interested in. So put it in the comments, let me know. And let me know if you think the gold or silver has the upside potential to go back up. Remember, what was it, a few weeks ago? Silver was like at 120 or something, and now it's dropped down quite a bit. Hello, hello. Yeah. We're talking about everything U.S. markets, everything in the headlines, and then we're also breaking down those companies on TradingView. If you have something, you have a question, let me know. Also, since we're talking about gold and silver, let's do this. Let's break down some of the mining companies as well. So there's gold and silver. Also, we'll get into oil in just a moment, okay? So let's do this. Here's Newmont. Here he is. Newmont Corporation right here. Okay, so this is Newmont, and what is Newmont? Well, basically, Newmont is it's the mining company where they, engages in exploration and acquisition of gold properties containing copper, lead, zinc, or other metals, and it operates in Canada, Mexico, Peru, and Australia, Papua New Guinea, many places. And I'm looking at them right now because gold and silver are big topics in the news, as well as oil. So here we go, breaking them down. Dingo, hello, welcome. If you have a comment or a question, let me know. Or if you have a ticker, let's see. Musa, greetings and welcome. Hello, Vanessa. Science nerd, I love that name. Yes. Gary Bennett, welcome. Okay, so right here's Newmont, and you can see if you zoom out, their chart was going up like a hockey stick, but it has since, just like the prices of the metal, it has gone down a bit. And actually, look at the RSI. The RSI down here is way down, at about 20, 28, 29, right down there, very, very low. It's getting over, you're actually expecting this to actually correct here pretty soon. Got it. Science nerd, I have a master's in biology. Good. Let's see, welcome, Makul. And let's see, all right, so look, also remember what I said about the RSI going way overbought or way oversold. Let's see, thank you for the likes, science nerd. Appreciate that. Right here, you see how it goes way overbought here, and then finally the market corrects and brings it down. Same thing up here. If you look up here, what's you see the price, you see one of the charts here, it is double. I'll circle this for you. Here's your double top, and then double top, and then bang, it drops down. And right here, Woo Cash, I love that name too. Hello. Daniel, greetings and welcome to the channel. And then right here, if you have a ticker, feel free to drop it in the comments. Although I don't know. Okay. Science nerd, I love that question. I don't know what you're showing. I love how honest you are. Now this is basically Science nerd. I like that. This is a channel where we talk about everything U.S. news, headlines, and then we break down some of the things that are in the headlines. Like gold and silver are in the headlines right now. Fabio, hello. And so right now I'm just breaking down some of the charts and some of the patterns from some of the mining companies, because if the metals go up or down, it also affects the stock price of the companies that are mining those metals. So one of the big companies in gold and silver is Newmont. So this is TradingView. This is the software where I'm breaking it down. You have the chart patterns. You have some of the indicators. I'll also be looking at some of the earnings and profits and stuff. So it's an educational channel. Just enjoy this show. If you have a question, let me know, and keep enjoying it. Thank you very much. And here we go. Here we go. And there's so let me see if I can find you some other chart patterns that are fun and enjoyable to learn about. Here's one right here. And again, some of these chart patterns, you kind of have to be creative. They're hard to see sometimes. Right here, you see your head, left shoulder, right shoulder. Here's your here. Here's your neckline breakout, and then bang, right here it goes down. So this one does what it's supposed to do. Head and shoulders, neckline breakout goes down. Remember, there's also the reverse head and shoulders, it goes up. Let's see, Paige, hello, and welcome to the channel. Everything U.S. markets, we're making it fun. Del Reddy, welcome. Let's see, Smokey, hello. Grammy, welcome. J Mag, I like that name. Good stuff. Okay, and here we are, right here. Okay, here's another head and shoulders for you, just so you get the basic idea. And again, if you enjoy the chart patterns and you want to learn more about other chart patterns, just feel free to send me a message. That's what that's for. You can message me anytime. And then let's see, erase that. So there's the head and shoulders that I told you about. And then Ramiro, hello, and Sally, welcome to the channel as well. Okay, here we go. Here's we talked about the head and shoulders making the chart pattern go down. Here's the reverse head and shoulders. It does the opposite. Here's your reverse head, left shoulder, right shoulder. This is not a shampoo commercial, I promise you that. I don't make the names for these charts, that's just what it is. But yeah, so here's the reverse head and shoulders, and bang, it breaks out right there. Yes, here's the reverse. You can see it right there, bang, it breaks out. Hia, hello. Alton, yes, greetings and welcome to the channel. Everything U.S. markets, U.S. headlines. If you have a question about a company, let me know. Just put it in the comments. And yeah, trading view, we're having fun with it right now. We're looking at Newmont because it's a big mining company, and gold and silver are big in the headlines right now, especially with what's going on in the Middle East and how oil is adjusting the strength of the dollar, and the dollar is adjusting the strength of the metals. So there's that. This tie reminds me of the summer star. This tie reminds me of anime. Okay. Good stuff. Glad you. Let's see. Daisy, Josephina, hello and welcome. Canal Fatu, welcome everyone. Trying to make this as entertaining as possible while at the same time hope you're getting something out of it. Okay, so that's that. There's some chart patterns for you. Let's go back here to the beginning here. Some chart patterns have more double bottoms, some have more double tops, some have more head and shoulders. It all just depends on the chart patterns. But for example, go through these. You'll be able to pick them out easier as you go and get practice. Here's your head, here's your left shoulder, here's your right shoulder, here's your neckline, here's your head, left neckline, and breakout, and it goes down. Kanan, welcome, and Jory Army, yes, welcome to the channel. And here you go. And right here, here's your reverse head, left shoulder, right shoulder. Here's your left, and here's your neckline breakout right there. Rosie, hello, good to have you. Garrett Charter, good stuff. Yes, welcome. Kirk, welcome to the channel. Everything U.S. markets and U.S. headlines. If you have a question or a comment about a company, just put it in the comments right there. And let's see. Yeah, this is Newmont. We're breaking down Newmont because they're big in the mining right now, and miners are taking a hit just like the metals are. Now, here's one thing to point out. For example, when there is more price action, you'll have more trading volume, more price action, more trading volume. You'll see that right there. Also, let me show you this, for example, and be wary right now. Look how far down this RSI is going. Pretty soon, you might be expecting to have some kind of correction. Cash, good name. Welcome to the channel. And right now, let's take a look at the volume. Yeah, the volume right here is sitting at, volume is 2.6 million. Market cap is 1.105 billion. And right here, let's look at the earnings. For example, Lona, hello, hello. Kasi, welcome to the channel. And Satori, yes. Valeria, welcome. King Dawn, I like that name. Good stuff. Welcome to the channel. We talk about everything U.S. markets and U.S. headlines. Ricky, hello. Barry, good to have you. Frazzy, or is that? No, it's Frazzle. Frazzle, welcome. Now, again, Newmont Corporation quarterly earnings. There's quarterly and there's annually. Usually we look at annually, but I'll show you the quarterly as well. Basically, just remember that when the blue bar is higher than the gray bar, to put it in very simple terms, it beats the Wall Street expectations for the company. Now, you'll notice the last 3 quarters beat Wall Street's expectations. Let's look at annually. Annually right here, done 2025, 2024, and 2023, right there. On the year, yearly they beat the expectations. So you can have a good or bad quarter, but it's really the year overall that matters a lot. Joe, hello. And Barry, welcome to the channel. Francia, Nicholas, yes. Okay, so there's your earnings. Now, just because you have good earnings does not mean you're going to have good profits or income or good revenue. So let's check that out. Amy, welcome to the channel. Joe, hello, hello, Hibbs. And here we go. Here's, yes, this is interesting because first thing I noticed is 2023, it's all in the red. 2023 is, and then let's go back here, 2023. As a year, 2023 beat the earnings expectations, so it was a good earnings report. However, Lydia, hello, very spicy senorita. That's a good name. So here we go. Even though 2023 beat the earnings expectations, on your profits, on your revenue, on your income, it was all negative in the red right there. However, 2024 and 2025 were all green grass. So it's interesting how that works out. And for example, here, 2024 and 2025, they all had good earnings reports too. It's just that it turned out, for example, 2023 was really bad for earnings and income. Now there's Newmont. Let's take a look at some of the other headlines. LOL, I like that name too. Wealth with Mike, hello, hello. Good to have you. Welcome, bum. And let's talk about, okay, that's Newmont. Let's talk about some of the other ones right now. Let's go into Tesla. Why Tesla? Because Tesla is also in the news. They're making news right now. Why? Because Tesla is going to buy 4.3 billion in LG energy battery cells from disbanded GM plant, and also let's see. For example, right here it says, yeah, 4.3 billion worth of battery cells in Lansing, Michigan. Okay, last year revenue in the company's energy segment increased 27 to 12.8 billion. Tesla currently sells Powerwall backup batteries for residual use with its solar installations. Speaking of solar, Tesla is also getting in more into the solar game. Hello. Wesley, hello. Carpintero, good to have you. And okay, so right here, where's my other? Yeah, here it talks about how Tesla in talks with Chinese firms to buy 2.9 billion worth of solar equipment. And let's go into that one. So when they say solar equipment, they mean panels and cells, and these are coming from Chinese suppliers. So Musk aims to add 100 gigawatts of solar capacity in the US before 2028, okay? And Musk said in January that solar could meet all the electric needs of the US, okay? Including increasing demands from data centers, and US power consumption hit its second straight record high in 2025, and it will rise further in 2026 and 2027. And in 2024, the US had 1,300 gigawatts of capacity to generate electricity, but of that, only 10% or 135 gigawatts was solar. So very little was solar, yes. XO, welcome, good name. Hello. Welcome everyone to the channel where we talk about everything U.S. markets and headlines and we analyze them on TradingView. If you have a question about any of the patterns I do, or any of the indicators, or any of the earnings or profits, feel free to let me know. You can always send me a message if you want, right there. And here we go. All right, let's take a look at Tesla, because they're in the news right now. Here is Tesla, yes. Thank you very much for the comment. It's nice of you to say that. Had fun. DOG had fun at St. Mark's. I don't understand the question. What do you mean? Hello. Yes. Marie Stewart, hello to you too. Slava, hello. Yes. Love you. You're welcome. Well, anyway, welcome everyone to the channel. Hope you're enjoying it. Yes, gotta have fun with this stuff. So here we go. And let's go right here and right here. Boom. Looking at Tesla. So one thing I want to notice right off the bat. It should. It's good. Glad you're having fun. Hello, C. Emiliano. Welcome. Yes. Nick. Then right here we have the relative strength index right here. Look at how it's staying pretty neutral right here. Right here, it's not going up or down very much. It's staying pretty much the same. There's that, and you'll see something similar in the price chart. Notice how the RSI and the price chart correlate with each other. Right here, it's like you have the invisible ceiling, the invisible floor, the resistance, support, etc. Yes, you have that. You can call it continuation, consolidation. IDK, welcome. Sylvia, hello. And let's go back here. Also, when you see this chart pattern, you also notice the correlation right here with the MACD right there. There's the MACD. Boom. I have ounces. Oh, good question. Silver and gold price is going to go down because of the war in Iran. Ounces of silver and kind of worried. Yes, actually, I love gold and silver, and I follow those pretty well. I know what you mean. same question, same issue. But yeah, actually, I expect them to keep going down for several reasons. But one of them, we talked about how the value of oil is going up and oil is tied to the dollar, and also silver and gold are priced in dollars. So as the dollar strength goes up, yeah, you're not the only one. As the dollar strength goes up, then the value against the gold and silver goes down. So I expect the value of the dollar to continue to rise, and with that, you'll see the price of gold and silver to go down. But it's going to continue to go down. But just keep in mind, remember, you have the BRICS nations forming their own currency, the unit, and you also have silver being the industrial metal used. It's used in defense too, used in all kinds of electronics. It's also used with your phone, with your solar. Like right now, we're talking about how Elon Musk just bought how many $2.9 billion worth of solar panels. Again, silver is industrial metal used up in that, and AI data centers. Exactly. So even though right now it's going down, in fact, what was it? Gold sank for the 7th session as the war. Silver slumped 13%. But again, bullion is still up 6% this year. I just, I stay on top of that. I like it. But I do think it has a good upside potential. It could pop up again despite. Correct. Because there's many reasons for it to pop back up, and also like it's been manipulated so long. Yeah, I do too. Love it. Good. Actually, I gotta get to some more headlines, but feel free, send me a message. I'd actually enjoy talking to you more specifically about the metals and where they could go, and which, for example, I just did an analysis on the Newmont, and I'll probably do an analysis later on with like Hecla and Freeport. Yeah. So if you want to, feel free to send me a message and we can talk more. But I really do appreciate the dialogue. Yeah, you too. Especially, I love the metals. Good deal. Thanks. And Kokonik, I love that name. Welcome, welcome. DD, I love that name too. Um, yes, I'd be interested too. Looking forward to it. Juan Viciano, yes. DD, welcome, welcome. Jehovah, welcome to the Josh, welcome, welcome. All right, let's go back here to Tesla. Um, Looking more here at some of the chart patterns. If I go through these too fast and you have questions about the chart patterns or the indicators, just shoot me a message right there and let me know what questions you have. I can give you more information about the indicators or the chart patterns, etc. Dun, dun, dun. Here's again. Also, be aware of the time. Mine's on 1 day. If you change the time, you can also see different chart patterns show up, okay? So there's different chart patterns with different times. Thank you for the share. Iron, welcome, welcome, Iron 55. And AYZ, good name, I like that. Welcome to the show. Let's see, here is another one. Bum, bum, bum. I'm curious, with all the, with all what's going on with oil, and then like now we have, Tesla buying more solar panels, and we have Mr. Musk talking about how, the whole U.S. could be electrified by solar energy. What do you guys think would be the best energy source for the future? There's a lot to be said, a lot going on right now with nuclear as well. For example, if anyone is interested in nuclear and wants me to break down some of the nuclear companies, just put that in the comments too. The world's going crazy. I think AI data centers need to. Yes, I love that comment. I know what you mean. Oh, this is for you then. Let me share this with you. Erica Burns, welcome and thank you for the like. Solar energy is communism. Mr. Mayhem, got it. Thank you for the comment. Feel free to share more. Welcome, welcome. Lizzie, hello. Nina, do you think solar energy is better for the planet because it's run by the sun? Okay, good question here. Because, for example, have you ever been to a place where they have a lot of mining? Because everything that solar, is involved with takes a lot of mining. Have you ever seen a copper mine? Have you ever seen any of that stuff? Well, you could say that, do you think, for example, if you see a lot of these mines, they just rip up and tear up the earth and they cause a lot of pollution with the water. It's almost like, yes, they run cleaner up here, but when you mine it, it just totally destroys the ground, totally destroys the water, everything there. And so sometimes I'm like, I don't know, but sometimes I'm like, are we just, exchanging or trading one type of pollution for a different type of pollution? I don't have the answer, and I don't say yes or no, but I'm just saying it's something to think about. So when you ask me, am I sold on solar? I'm not sold on anything. It's just, but yeah, good discussions, good dialogue. Actually, for example, like the U.S., the current administration has actually invested a lot of in different. They've invested in critical minerals companies for one thing, because you were talking about the metals, right? So silver is also classified now as a critical mineral in the U.S., and I think I read that over in Asia, it's also classified as a critical mineral. Like some countries in Asia won't even let you won't even let silver be exported out of the country. So that's how valuable silver is to the world right now. Trump administration is best we've ever had. Mr. Mayhem, love the comments. Yeah. It's a critical mineral. You can look that one up. Yeah. That's super crazy. Yeah. But that's why when you say thank you, Mr. Mayhem, and that's why when you ask about what the metals might do, this is not a political channel, right? Peace. We're just here to talk about the headlines. We're trying to keep politics out of it. But my point here is that I think there is an upside in the future, especially with gold being part of the unit in the BRICS in the future, and also with silver being a critical mineral already. Yeah, I think it's just a matter of time. The market corrects, and then things change and it will go up. But again, feel free to share more of your thoughts on energy or the energies of the future, or what the metals might do. I'd love to hear more about that. And actually, I can, if you send me a message, I can send you some articles that I've got about both energy and metals if you want. Yeah. And so Dana Allard, welcome. Let's see, B Davis, hello. And let's see, let's go back here to Tesla. But yeah, it's interesting how even though some energy sources have their pros, they also have their cons as well. Nuclear has its pros, but nuclear also has its dangers as well. In fact, I know that just like they've invested into certain mineral companies, mining companies, the administration has also invested into certain nuclear companies, I believe. Yeah, pros and cons, true. But yeah, so I mean, again, I don't have the, which one is better. That's a very interesting question, but it depends on which side of the coin you're on. Are you more interested in efficiency? Are you more interested in safety? Or are you more interested in something being natural? Or the different things like that. It's all a matter of which priority you have. So yeah, looking forward to hearing from you, man. I'll send you some more. If you message me, I can send you some more information about that. So here's Tesla. Again, Tesla's going big into solar, and they're buying a lot of the panels from China. If you zoom out on this, you'll see right here, here's the double top brings it down, and let's see, Yo Soy Beck, that's a cool name. B Davis, hello. Junebug, I like that name too. James and Tony, Alicia, yes, welcome. Hope you are enjoying. I thought silver was forming a cup and handle. Turns out it's a freaking. I love it. Art Vandelay, welcome back. I thought it was forming, and it was forming a freaking broom handle. Good stuff. I appreciate the humor, Art Vandelay. Yes. And yeah, it was a freaking broom handle, not a cup and handle. Well, at least you got the handle part right, Let's see. For example, no problem. Yeah, I used to be an engineer, and then I took my love for numbers, and I started getting interested in the markets. Yeah, but yeah, no problem. Dun. And then right here, does it? Yeah. Like I'm like, when you ask, it's like, am I that bad, or am I? I'm like, maybe you're asking because you don't enjoy it, or I don't know, but I hope you're enjoying it. That's awesome. Well, I do what I can. Let's see. Here we go. Here's a reverse head and shoulders for you right here. Dun. And then here's your neckline right here. I enjoy it. Glad you're enjoying it, man. I know you're not bad. Thank you very much. If you have a company, just drop it here in the comments. I just learned about you. Now I'm learning so much. Oh, good for you. Thank you very much. I appreciate the positivity. Yeah. Let's see. Again, here's another double top. Let's see. Yeah. There you go. All right, let's go back here. That's enough chart patterns for Tesla right now. You get the idea. If you want more of these patterns or something, just send me a message and I can give you more. But let's go on right here. Let's see. There we go. As I said, if you want more, we were just talking about silver and energy and chart patterns. If you want more information about that, send me a message. I'll give you more on that. Let's go here to volume. Volume-wise, we are at 21.4 million, and market cap is at 1.4 trillion. Let's go here to the one thing I want you to notice right here, back when it was really cheap, when it was actually no, I didn't get too much into Bitcoin. I'm not the Bitcoin expert, so you're asking the wrong person about that. I'm very aware of it, yes, but yeah. Believe it or not, I don't know everything. There you go. So here's, okay, one thing I want you to be aware of right here is that when there is less price action here, there's less trading volume here. Okay, Maddox, hello, and greetings. Dun dun dun. Let's go to the earnings right here. Bum bum bum. Quarterly right here. When there is less, there is when there is less, there is more. Got it. And right here, so Tesla Q4 on the quarterly beat the quarterly. Q3 missed it. Q2 also equaled it. I smoke on a loud boss pack. You smoke on brown. Okay, Scott. You smoke on. Let's see. Okay. Right here, let's go to the annual earnings side right here. Dun dun dun. Annually. So 2025, if you look at the annual side, Melly, JR, Lucy, B. Davis, welcome. Bum, bum, bum. Sakila, hello. And Evie, greetings and welcome to the channel. Right here, if you go, okay, here's Tesla on the annual earnings side, 2025. As you can see, it equaled expectations. Oh yeah, I'm also, good question. I'm also live on YouTube right now as well. So yeah, that's, if you're wondering what I'm looking at, it's also the YouTube side. Yeah. Dun dun dun. Christina, Sheila, hello. Yeah. Good or bad, I'm not sure, but there it is. Okay, 2025 equaled it. 2024 missed the expectations. 2023 also beat it. So you can say for Tesla, to summarize, Bill Leslie, Chuck Norris passed? Really? Is that true? I wasn't aware of that. I'm kind of a Chuck Norris fan, so you caught my curiosity. Tell me more about that, Bill. Busy man. Sometimes. Okay, so Tesla, the last 2 out of the 3 years, beat expectations. 2024 missed it. So again, earnings is important. It's only one piece of the puzzle. But again, when you have a strong earnings report, it lets you know about the vitality, the strength of the company in some ways. But it doesn't tell you the whole story. Because, for example, okay, Bill. So that was just news today. Do you know how old he was, and do you know why he passed? I'm a Chuck Norris fan too. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah. If you're a Chuck Norris fan, let's see. Apparently he may have passed away. But yeah, let's look here at how the profits and revenue and income stacks up against the earnings. So again, earnings is important because it can tell you something about the strength and vitality of the company. Adi, Beto, Lorena, hello, and Evie, Mangoda, yes, welcome. We're talking about everything U.S. markets, headlines, and we make it fun. Talking about the Tesla right now, go here to statements, and you'll see that 2025, oh my God, everything was in the red. So this is one thing I want you to notice. So over here on the earnings side, even though 2025 had a good earnings that equaled the expectations, over here, right here, annually 2025, everything was red. It was like revenue, profit, income, it's all red, negative. I thought he was trolling, but it's true. Oh gosh, Art Vandelay, thanks for the follow-up update. Yeah, if that's true, I'll look it up later, but yeah, rest in peace, Chuck. Yeah, that's interesting. Thanks guys for the heads up on that. How Art Vandelay or Bill, do you know how old he was? And do you know if it was just a natural passing or if there was something else involved? Okay, well, Mary, ID, welcome. Esther, welcome. And here we are, statements. Okay, so 2025, even though it had a good earnings report, he died at 86. Got it. I wonder why he didn't get to 87. I think for my natural passing, maybe. Okay, got it. He was heart. I thought he would have a good heart actually because he was so fit. Actually, he was one of those super fit guys. Yeah, I did too. I enjoyed his movies, and I enjoyed his TV shows. You know, even though sometimes they were a bit too over the top with all the crazy action stunts, but he was definitely fit. Yeah, I enjoy. Yes, yes. Gosh, this is good conversation. I wonder. Uh, Art Vandelay, Google says 86. Got it. Wow, interesting. Maybe it's it's crazy sounds. Maybe it's good. It's good. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I enjoyed it, but you kind of have to have a sense of how you say it, not sense of humor, but you know, sometimes it's like his stunts are almost like, oh my god, it's just too crazy to even be partially even believable. But Arleth, welcome, Jose. Wobbly, yes. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, so back to back to Tesla. You know, because I remember watching like Delta Force and stuff like that, and I was just like, what the heck? You know, there's one thing to have entertainment, there's one thing to be just, you know, come on, it's impossible. But nothing's impossible with Chuck Norris, right? So, um, if you're a Chuck Norris fan, put a smiley face in the comments. Yes, yeah. And okay, so here we go, 2023, 2024. Actually, if you're looking at this, even though the earnings report was pretty good, you're nothing impossible with Chuck Norris. That's right. So again, what I want you to notice here is the earnings report is completely different from the revenue, the profit, and the income, because the last 3 years, the profit and income were pretty terrible. The only years that had total revenue in 2023 and 2024 were okay, but everything else was basically negative. Yeah, but going back here, okay, dun, dun, dun. Let me erase this. Yeah, okay. So let me do this. Bum, bum, bum. If you like Chuck Norris, dun, 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 put a smiley face. If you like Chuck Norris, put a smiley face in the comments. There you go. Chuck Norris smiley face in the comments. Let's do it. The Lighthouse. Hello, hello, welcome. Let's see. Timmy South. Good, good. Welcome. David. Let's see. Lynch Barrios. Hello. Yes. Any other Chuck Norris fans out there? We gotta get the word out. Yeah, rest in peace. Melly Butter, hello, hello. Okay, there's Tesla. Let's go back here. I met him. Susie, you met him as a child. Tell me about that. How did that go? Football card. Welcome, welcome. I love that name. Football card. I used to collect football cards as a kid. Yes. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah. Chuck Norris was not one of my subscribers, but I enjoyed watching his movies and TV shows growing up. Yeah. Shane, what happens when you work out too much? Shane, when you work out too much, you die. Yes, that could be true. Could be true. But generally, that's it. Do not overtrain. Yes, Shane, that's the message. Do not overtrain. And his Susie. So Chuck Norris gave free lessons at his new studio. Tell me about that. You have my curiosity now. Sorry to change the topic away from headlines, but yeah, this is a good, interesting headline. I love your bio. Let's see, Shirley. I am 46. I am long. Okay, got it. Interesting. Abba, the travelers. Raidel, hello, hello. Got it. Where was his studio? Do you know, or like where was all that? What state was he in? Military child, so he helped. Oh, okay, yeah, got it. Dun, 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 dun. Boom, boom, boom. Virginia. Got it. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, all right. Let's go back here to Tesla. Earnings, profit. Yeah. Let's okay, yeah, let's go to Amazon. Amazon right here. Why are we talking about Amazon? Because Amazon. Okay, one second. For example, if you go to the big picture stocks and data, that's my YouTube. You said you wanted to subscribe to it. That's fine. Yeah. Thank you very much, Susie. Yeah. Go to the big picture stocks and data. That's my YouTube if you want to look at that too. Virginia. Got it. Actually, just because I'm curious, how, let's see, he helped children. How were his, you said he gave away free lessons. Was he fun to work with, or was he pretty serious? I'm curious how his real life persona is similar or different from his, on film persona. Got it, okay. Got it, Susie. Cool. His brother ran the studio. Got it. But for example, was he super serious about the martial arts, or was he fun, or how, when you see him in the movies, how is he different in the movies as his personality versus in real life? Dun, dun, dun. And everyone who's jumping on here, welcome. Where he was fun. Okay, good. Interesting. Let's see. 86 is a good run. Who really wants to live past that? Shane, correct. I get your point. Yeah. Who really wants to? Well, I mean, for example, who there are some people that live past it, that are in good health. I guess, for example, if you're in good health, well, then it might be interesting and fun to live past 86, right? But yeah, if the health is not good, I get it. Matt, I love your hair. Okay. Why do you love my hair? I'm glad you do. Okay. Fun, great personality. Cool. That's nice. Anybody else have comments about Chuck Norris while we're talking about it? Interesting. Yeah. That's nice to hear that he was fun in real life as well as had a fun personality in the movies too. Yeah, it's always nice to hear positive. Matt, thank you very much. I'll take that. Appreciate the good vibes. Yes. Finney, hello. Welcome. This is for everyone who's joining on. This is the U.S. markets, U.S. headlines, but we're also talking about the headline of Chuck Norris. Apparently, he said, "BU don't let people." Oh yes, I like that. BU don't let people change you. Yeah. That's actually good words of wisdom. What else did he say? Since he says so, he's actually pretty cool, pretty smart, and pretty down to earth. Then that's good. Matt, yes. For example, if you have a question, comment, or just if you want to throw your best daily joke at me or something, you can feel free to contact me there. No problem. So, yeah, let me know. And if there's stuff that we're talking about here, whether it be the headlines or the charts or the patterns, and you want to get more information, that's one way to do it. Yeah. Any other insights that he shared with you besides? Don't let people change you. We need to get out of the Oh, I love this comment. That's a big can of worms. Get out of the fishbowl. Okay. So basically, when you say that means he actually sees the big picture of what's going on, and we need to get out of the So he's pretty intelligent, or he was pretty intelligent then. Basically, is what you're getting at. That's good to know. Linda, hello. Sheila. Welcome. Got it. Cool. Dun. Yes. Well, let's see. What Chuck stock picks? For example, I don't know what Chuck stock picks were, but anyway. Yes, very wise. Dun. Cool. Hey, I enjoy it. Feel free to share more if you like. I actually heard the similar things, when I read stuff online about him, he was not only a good actor, but he actually had really good martial arts skills and stuff like that. So it's good to know that was kind of true. And I actually, what you're saying about the whole, helping children thing, I had read that once, but I didn't even know if it was actually, real or not. But glad to know it was real. Got it. Yeah. All right, here we go. Amazon requires startup River to test robots for doorstep delivery. Again, imagine a robot coming to your door and delivering for you. Dun, dun, dun. And for example, Amazon acquired robotic startup River, known for four-legged delivery robots on wheels. And let's see, here we go. We're already talking about how the River is a Swiss robotics company for doorstep delivery. Let's see. How many of you have ever had a robot deliver you a package? Anyone? Well, it's going to be happening soon with, again, here's the pic. I think I had a picture of it on here, maybe not. Because actually, Amazon has been working on this for a long time. Met him at the studio. He bought it for his brother. We all started with yellow belts. Cool, cool. Alexander, welcome. Dun, dun, dun. Ryan Lander, welcome. Maciel, welcome, welcome. Dun, dun, dun. And there we go. Yeah, interesting. What is his brother also into martial arts as well? Okay. Also, according to Amazon, the robotics unit was formed after it acquired Kiva Systems. Kiva Systems is the one that does the manufacturing for the warehouse. They have a lot of robots in Amazon's warehouses, and they bought the Kiva Systems for $775 million in 2012. And so they're already using 1 million robots. There you go. And again, they've actually been, what was it, I think I saw the article yesterday or the day before about how Amazon's already testing the drone delivery system. Yeah, because for example, I just saw the recent article about Amazon and they're doing the 1 hour to 3 hour delivery as ultra fast shipping grows. Yeah. So for example, let's see. Would you pay for 1 hour delivery? Would you pay $10 or would you pay $20? Let's see. What? Or would you pay $5 for 3 hours, or would you pay $15 for 3 hours? Let me know what prices you would pay for these deliveries, because that's what's coming with Amazon when they're with their 1 hour and 3 hours, and that depends on if you have the Amazon Prime membership. I'm curious about that. And then there also, it said the drone deliveries they're testing for 30-minute deliveries. Yeah, but that coincides with what Amazon is doing right now with buying the startup robotics company. Yeah, but I wouldn't pay more than $6. Yeah, I got it. So basically, you wouldn't pay more than $6. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, so if you have if you have an Amazon Prime membership, you can get the 3 hour delivery for $4.99. Seeing the robot delivery. I would for $6 you could still get the 3 hour delivery if you're Amazon Prime. I've seen the robot delivery here in Arizona. Oh, cool! Tell me about that. The good vibes are always appreciated, Susie. I love it. Good stuff. Thanks for keeping it fun here, guys. It's always welcome. All right, so there's Amazon. There's a little bit about Amazon. Let's break it down here on TradingView. Get crazy was like a white box. Got it. Okay. Dun, dun, dun. All right, here we go. Amazon. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Robot. Crazy was it? Let's see. Robot. Yeah, tell me about the robots. Let's see. Did I miss something? Yeah. Tell me about the robots that you see. Bum, bum, bum. Okay. Here we are. Amazon. Yeah. Let me adjust the timing on this. Right over here. And we go right here. Okay, again, first thing I noticed on Amazon right here is that RSI is sitting here at 4140. Bum, bum, bum. Yeah, so it's very, very neutral right now as far as the price chart goes, as you'll see. Right there and right there. So you see the price chart, you see the resistance there, basically the invisible ceiling, the invisible floor. You call it consolidation, continuation. Oh, I like that question. Here, let me look this up. Map of data centers. There we go. For example, right here. White boy strolling. I like the white, the little boy strolling on the street. Worse than driverless cars here. Got it. Okay. Oh, here we go. Let's see. Hold up. I'm trying to find. Where's? Oh yeah. For example, here. Yeah, data centers. Okay. Yeah, what is it to do here? Why are they all in Pennsylvania? I wonder why. Texas has 208, California has 256, Florida 128, Pennsylvania. Looking here, looking. I think they don't. No, Pennsylvania doesn't have the most. But hold on, let me get a better view here. That's a good. I'm like, yeah. No kidding, Susie. My thoughts exactly. Why are they building them all here? Hold on a second. Data. One second. Let me pull this up. That's a very good. Let's see. Yeah, going under construction, data centers. Yeah, Phoenix. North Texas data center, right here. Oh, that doesn't help me much. Hold on. Where's the? Where are the data centers in the U.S.? Yeah, data centers in the U.S. are heavily concentrated in Northern Virginia. Northern Virginia is the largest, I guess, and then Texas, California, Illinois, and Georgia, with over 3,700 total facilities nationwide. Key hubs are in Ashburn, Dallas, Silicon Valley. Yeah, okay, here. PA. How many data centers are in PA? Okay, as of early 2026, Pennsylvania has roughly 52 to 112 active data centers. Yeah. Let's see. Wait. I missed the comment. I don't know. An hour from Phoenix. Yes. David, hello. Gustavo, hello. We're talking about data centers now. But yeah, so PA has roughly 52 to 112 active data centers with 53 additional projects proposed. The state is experiencing a rapid AI expansion, yes, particularly in Lehigh Valley, Philadelphia, and northeastern Pennsylvania. Interesting. Yeah, and they're also actually, that was one of the articles I had, what was it, a couple of days ago. They're actually already trying to get data centers up into space. There's several companies working on that, and not to get you off talking about how do we stop companies from, yeah, no, I get you. I know where all the bunkers are. Seriously, good stuff. I know where all the bunkers are. Yes, actually, you know what? I have all the answers here in my crystal ball. Okay, I can give you all the answers. Only thing you have to do, I'll give you all my secrets. Send me a message and I'll give you all my secrets and I'll have all your answers. No, I'm just kidding. But for example, maybe nowadays they're getting the technology better to where they can have closed loop systems. Thank you for getting my humor. They can have closed loop systems on the water, and I have that same tattoo. Good. Well, that's crazy. Well, for example, they might be getting closed loop systems on the water, so they would be using so much water. And what is it? I think I read that data systems now are trying to provide more of their own energy with what is it? Well, anyway, I can't remember which energy sources, but I think some of these data centers are bringing their own natural energy. Maybe building them underwater. No, not building them underwater, but like some of the they use a lot of the water for cooling, and I've heard that they're now using closed loop cooling systems so that they don't just keep pulling water. That's what some of the things I've read. I don't know if that's totally true. Jose, Daddy Mac, welcome. But again, it's interesting. I don't know if it's totally true, but that's some of the stuff I've been reading. Did you know that wind farms? Yes, dude. Seriously, I'm totally with you. I didn't say that that's the greatest alternative. There's more water than I didn't say wind farms were like great or the panacea. I just said, that's some of the things that they're trying to do. But yeah, I know what you mean, Susie. I know exactly what you mean. Don't worry. I'm on your wavelength. But yeah, those are data centers. Good questions about that. Again, I'm learning and growing just like you guys are. And I'm always trying to, be fair with both sides. But yeah, I know what you mean, Susie, about AI and data centers and all that stuff. My verdict is still out, but why are we starting? Yes. But for example, though, I think what was it? I just saw the article about NVDA building. Here it is. They're using some chips for space missions, orbital data centers. Companies are also included are Axiom Space, Star Cloud, and Planet Labs, and even their Vera Rubin space module. Their chips are engineered to size, weight, and the power for that kind of environment. Nothing is free, correct, Susie? I agree. And even, for example, Google had the project called Suncatcher, and that's what they were exploring the concept of computing in space. Yes. No. And Susie, the rapper Tupac, said in his lyrics, they got money for wars but can't feed the poor. Yes, it's very, very true. This is an educational channel, not a political channel, but yeah, I know what you mean, but I'm trying to stay neutral on that. Okay, here we go, back to the headlines. And what was my other one? Micro. Yeah, for example, one of the ones, since we're talking about all these chips and stuff, let's go to here, where is super micro? Yes, here's one. U.S. prosecutors charge super micro computer employees with smuggling NVIDIA chips to China. Yes, welcome Jose, welcome everyone. Having a good discussion about the news. Chuck Norris data centers right now, and keep it coming, guys. It's interesting conversation. Fatima, hello. So yeah, this is the one where it talked about the service company's products containing NVIDIA chips are subject to strict U.S. export controls, barring their sale to China without a license. The plaintiff said in the indictment, for example, the co-founder of the server maker Supermicro Computer and a member of its board of directors. And on this news, Supermicro's shares fell 12%. Sharon, hello. Let's see. I'm probably chipped military life. Susie, I'm probably chipped military life 46 years. Let's see. Wait. I'm not quite sure I understand, Susie. I'm probably chipped. What do you mean chipped? Military. So you were in military life for 46 years, basically. Is that kind of what you mean? Or what do you mean by chipped? Let me know. There's that. Let's see. Anyway, so here's Super Micro, and that's why they're flu shots. There's another can of worms, a whole new rabbit hole. Believe me, again, I'm on your wavelength. I'm trying to keep it non-political, but totally know what you mean. Totally know 100%. I know the wavelength you're on right now, but yeah. Welcome, Haley. Sharon, welcome. Let's see. Interesting how open and honest you are about that. I appreciate it. Things I know. Yes, I think I know what you mean. Okay, so here's Super Micro. As promised, we're going to break down some of the headlines here. Let's see, Super Micro. Okay, Super Micro Computer. Dun dun dun. Things I know. Love the tie. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm glad there's something on this channel that people like. If you enjoy my tie, if you like the tie, put a smiley face in the comments, just like this. Dun, dun, dun. Yes. If you enjoy the tie, put a smiley face right there in the comments. If you like the tie, yes. Okay. And also, for example, as we're going through this, yes, if you do have other questions, other comments, or other things that you'd like to hear about in the stream, feel free to send me a message, whether it's about chart patterns or whether it's about indicators or just, you know, fun things in the news or things you want to share about data centers or about anything. Always, you can feel free to contact me and let me know what's on your mind or what you want to see next time. There's that. And right here, dun, 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 yes. In his okay, I know so much before. I know so much before Weekly Leaks. Yes, yes. The real NASA and interesting. I love these topics. I love these topics. Yes. Thank you very much, Susie. It's been a nice conversation. Good discussion. Okay, so here's Super Micro. And we're breaking this down. Dun dun dun. And dun dun dun. All right. Okay. Let's see. For everyone who's joining, thank you very much. I appreciate the conversation. If you have questions or comments, let me know, and I'll be here at the same time on Monday. Have a good weekend. See you next time. Does way better.